Post World War II, when we look at tribunals, international courts, are those justified or necessary after such a war?
Well, that's a difficult question to answer because everybody sees it as Allied justice. But it was very important because until that point, the end of the Second World War, international law had been silent about a lot of the violations that went on during the Second World War. Even war itself was not actually contrary to international law, strange though that may seem. But at Nuremberg, a set of principles was established. First of all, of course, that war, aggressive war, is contrary to international law. And then there were crimes against humanity, which were conducted in the course of the war, which again was a novelty. But you needed some way of defining in international law that genocide and the abuse of civilians was contrary to the spirit of international law. And then, of course, war crimes as such, perpetrated by, perpetrated by armed forces everywhere, but perpetrated excessively by the German and the Japanese armed forces. Also, these had to be defined more closely than they'd ever been defined before. So I think, yes, the tribunals, for all their drawbacks, for all, the legal arguments, this was a founding moment for modern international law. And ever since then, we've lived with a body of international law which defines things like aggression, defines things like genocide, defines things like crimes against humanity. As we can see with the war between Russia and Ukraine, having international law doesn't necessarily make a difference, but at least it's there.